The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the students and the educators who make Mobile County Public Schools the best schools in the state of Alabama. I'm your host, Director of Communication, Renee Phillips, and today I'm going to introduce you to some of our students who are doing outstanding things outside of the classroom with the things that they have learned inside the classroom. So joining me now, I have Wesley Hawkins from Williamson High School. You just graduated.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have Brian Carr from Davidson. You're about to be a senior.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're both participating in one of the best programs we have. It's our summer internship program, right? So you had to go through the interviews, the process of writing the resume, apply for a job, and you're working this summer.
Yes, ma'am.
So Wesley, tell me, where are you working?
This summer I'm interning at SSAB. We're working in IT, and so far we have taken down servers and terminated cables.
Yeah, so you're doing real world work.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty cool. And I love that you're representing with your SSAB shirt, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
I know they're proud of you. And Brian, where are you working?
I work at Hargrove Engineering. There's multiple different engineering principles. There's instrumentation, there's process, there's mechanical, there's pulp and paper, there's all kinds of engineering, and I'm a process engineering intern. And so far, I've worked on a distillation column.
Because you're both interested in studying engineering. And what I like too is that not just I want to be an engineer, you know specifically what type of engineering you want to do, right? And this is kind of teaching you that because you're heading off to Southern.
Yes, ma'am. At Southern, I plan on majoring in civil engineering, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, you want to build bridges?
Yes, ma'am.
And highways?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. And what do you want to do?
I'm going to go into aerospace engineering and go to University of Alabama in Huntsville.
That's a great place to do that. Going to the space agency. So tell me about the process. So this is a highly competitive process. You have to apply for it and go through interviews. So what did you think of that process?
I enjoyed it because I guess I like the competition aspect, and then it also helps you for real life. So whenever you have to apply for a job or get interviewed, you already know how that process is going to go before you even get into college, before you even have to get a job. Yeah,
because we live in a pretty competitive world. And Wesley, what was it like for you?
It was pretty much the same with him, but the interviewing process was kind of lengthy. But it was fun.
Well, I know you did a good job, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you feel like Williamson prepared you pretty well for SSAB?
Yes, ma'am. We did a lot of touring colleges and touring South Alabama. We did a lot of labs there. And it really prepared me for it.
So some of the hands-on type
Yes, ma'am.
stuff and a lot of the computer work as well that
Yes,
you're doing
ma'am.
now. And at Davidson, you're in the IB and the EPIC. Tell us about that.
So the EPIC program is the Engineering Pathways program, and there's multiple classes that you take to get an EPIC major or minor. And I've taken all types of. There's 3 pathways. There's biomedical, computer science, engineering. I've taken some math classes for the engineering. I've taken computer science principles for the computer science, and I've taken human anatomy for the biomedical pathway. So I've done all of EPIC, all 3 of the pathways. I've gone into each pathway somewhat, but also the robotics team at Davidson is a good, they've won multiple championships, so there's a lot of experience in that, and we have a lot of work that we can show to companies, if we're interviewing for ourselves. For example, I showed my CAD drawings, which were part of the competition for an award, and so I showed those to the interviewers, and they appreciated that and like that. So I feel like being part of the robotics and doing engineering and showing your work helps in the interview. Yeah,
because you're not just learning the textbook lessons, you're putting it to use. And same at Williamson with the Engineering Academy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you're pretty involved. I got to know you a little bit on the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, so tell me about that.
At Williams, I was a regular ambassador, and I was also a part of the Student Council Advisory Board. But the Student Council Advisory Board was really fun.
Yeah.
It's really knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things.
And I think it's cool because that goes into what's going to prepare you for those soft skills for the job, doesn't it? It teaches you how to interact with people and how to communicate.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so what's a typical day like for you at SSAB?
A typical day is I will clock in at 8 a.m. Then we meet up with Aaron and Jean, and we walk around, help people with their internet connection and stuff like that.
So it's the summer and you're up and at work every day at 8 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm impressed. I have 2 boys, so that's... And what about you? What's a typical day?
So I get to work at probably 11:45, and I work until 4. And right now, because it changes because it's a project-based company, so right now I'm working on a distillation column. for just practice and learning how process engineering, because process engineering is like what most chemical engineers would go into after studying chemical engineering in college. So right now I'm just working on a distillation column to see how chemical engineering and process engineering works, so that later on in like July and later like next week in June I can see how to like apply those skills that I've already learned in the first month. And so usually at the beginning of the day I would talk to my mentor and we would discuss what I would do for the day and like maybe the next day. And then some days I might not talk to my mentor, but mostly I'm on a computer and just doing. So there's multiple softwares we use, like one of them is AutoCAD, so we had training on that last week. So we're getting like training, and so we can like start applying these skills that we learned.
That's great. And so, Wesley, you're a leader at your school, and I know there's students coming behind you who might be interested in this program. Do you have any advice for them?
Yes, ma'am. Like the advice I'll give them is like just keep working, like stay consistent, and they'll get to where they want to be.
And you recommend them to do this engineering program or this internship program?
Yes, ma'am. Like that's the way I heard of like my friend Michael Messeline Pickard. He had did it last year before me. And he was like really like opened it for me.
Yeah. So encourage them. Sign up, do it. It's a great program.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So thank you for what all you're doing. We're so proud of you guys. Keep on all summer and be successful in life. We know you're going to be, right?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So we have to break for commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to some more of our students who are doing outstanding things. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Mobile County Public Schools, the place that has it all. We have 90 schools that include rural, urban, and suburban schools of various sizes. We are also home to Alabama's first public school. We welcome you to come join our winning team. Our district is led by the 2020 Superintendent of the Year, Mr. Cresel D. Threadgill. Our teachers are leaders in their profession who are afforded numerous professional development opportunities. Our principals are collaborators and encouragers. Our schools are leading in innovation and instruction. And most importantly, our students who are learning today, leading tomorrow, are simply the best. If you want to live in a historically rich city near beautiful beaches with superb Southern hospitality, we invite you to come teach with the best, Team MCPSS.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today I'm introducing you to some of our students who are doing outstanding things as we prepare them to be college and career ready. Joining me now I have Brooke Dawkins, just graduated from Mary G. Montgomery High School, and you're interning with us in the Office of Communication.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
love having you. And Claire Minto, who supervises our signature academies in all of our high schools. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and so we're talking today about our internship program that we do every summer. It's a great program. Claire, tell us about it.
The internship program is designed to give students work experience. We want them to see what's inside the real workforce, and it allows them to kind of dabble in the career-focused area that they're interested in and pursuing after high school. So it's available for juniors and seniors. It's a competitive process, which is a learning experience by itself, and students are able to really network and establish connections right here in Mobile, and I hope it opens their eyes to what's available to them here.
Yeah, and we have partners across the city and the county, different businesses, including the school system.
Yes.
And I know we love to be a sponsor of this, the MCPSS Office of Communication. We have an intern every summer, and you're our intern, so what's it been like working with us?
It has been a wonderful opportunity. I've done so much. My first week was filled with nothing but joy and excitement, and everyone here in the building, whether that's in communications or just human resources as a whole, is just so welcoming and ready to help you, and I just love it here.
Good. Are we keeping you busy enough?
Absolutely. I've done a lot. I've done interviews. I'm writing web stories. I've done some things out of the job that I didn't expect to do, like rappelling down a wall. But, you know, it's very fun. Very fun.
That's one thing we like to immerse ourselves in whatever story we're doing. And so we got to go out to, I'm sure you've been out there to the JROTC STEM Academy, which is going on, and they're rappelling. And so you got to do that.
Yes.
That way you could know what the students are experiencing, right? What was that like?
It was terrifying, to say the least. I did not remember that I was afraid of heights. So I got to the top and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of far. But I did it, and everyone there was just so happy and just so warming, and I really enjoyed it.
You know they've got you, and they're not going to let you fall.
Very supportive.
It's a great program. And so is this what you want to hear, that they're out there, they're immersed in it, that they're learning new things?
Yes, and so it took me 2 years to go and rappel, so wow. It took them 2 weeks to get her to do it. I'm impressed.
And just so we're clear, we didn't make her do it. So yeah, we gave her the option.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's just about opening opportunities, because it's changing the idea of what she thought someone in communications might do, and to see that it's so much bigger than that. And hopefully they have experiences that are, while they're on the internship, and it helps them focus on where they're going, college or straight into the workforce, and they know exactly the direction and the path that they want to. So it makes me feel good when we hear the stories, and that's one of the things the career coaches and I love the most, is to interview our students after the internship process.
Yeah, and we love it because it kind of reminds us why we're in education and why we do what we do, is to help our students to be prepared. And you're prepared. You are enrolling at the University of South Alabama. Tell us what your plans are there.
Well, I plan to enroll, I'm actually already enrolled at the University of South Alabama, and I am majoring in communications and psychology.
Good. So what do you see yourself doing in the future?
Well, I see myself doing something like this, actually. I think this internship definitely influenced me on the direct path of communications that I wanted to take. I think when I first chose my major as communications, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, but this internship has definitely helped me.
Good. So we have not scared you off.
No, not at all.
And you're also interning with the City of Mobile. Tell us about that.
Yes. So the City of Mobile has a spring and summer internship through the YES program. So that process opens up around December, and then I think again in April. So those internships are all around the city. You can do things like work in the mayor's office. You can also do things like working at Parks and Recreation. I currently work as Park and Recreation. I am on the Youth Advisory Board. I'm actually the Vice President. So we create fun, safe events for teens and families in the area, just trying to promote youth violence prevention.
Because it's important, don't you think, to give teenagers opportunities to do things that are productive and fun and safe?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we hear a lot about violence these days, specifically surrounding teens and the youth. So we just try to go out of our way to create environments where kids, teens, families can come out on a weekend or a weekday, specifically during the summer, and both recreational and educational, to get sort of an open mind and realize that their community is there for them and is willing to help them.
You're going to do great, like I can tell. Like, see how we've trained her?
She's amazing.
I know, she's amazing. And so, Claire, tell us, if students are interested in participating in this program, how do they prepare for it, and what do they need to do?
We start putting out the applications sometime around March, but way before then, the career coaches within the schools are preparing them. They participate in mock interviews. They're going out and doing job shadowing opportunities so that they can get a taste of different companies and explore. And so I would encourage them to make sure they're taking advantage of all these opportunities that are available to each and every one of them at their high school, and be ready. This is a learning experience. It's okay if they're scared and they're nervous, but just explore and take advantage of what we're offering.
Right, like even being on the show. It's kind of scary, but you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Would you recommend the program to everybody?
Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful way to introduce yourself to the workforce, and I would suggest it to anyone. So definitely sign up.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the summer and at South. And Claire, thank you for everything that you do to help our kids to be prepared. It's a fantastic program. So we have to break for commercial, and when we come back, we're going to hear from some more of our students who are doing great things outside the classroom. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good? School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today I'm introducing you to some of our students who are doing extraordinary things outside the classroom. So joining me is Baker graduate, now you're a graduate,
Yes, ma'am.
Ryan Mosley, and Jermaine West from the Boys and Girls Club of South Alabama. And Ryan, you are the Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year, not once, but twice in a row, right? So what does that mean?
So being Youth of the Year, I've had the opportunity to represent my local club and the state level for the Boys and Girls Clubs through Alabama. And it's given me the opportunity to set a platform for my peers and kind of encourage other youths at the clubs to get out there and get involved in their communities.
Because it's such an important partnership that we have with the Boys and Girls Club. So tell us, what does the Boys and Girls Club do?
Well, we try to bring character and leadership and development to all of our young people that actually are in our clubs. Try to make sure that they get a full spectrum of health and life skills, character and leadership, and then bringing good mentors to them to have somebody to look up to and talk to.
So do you have locations throughout the county and students come there after school, or how does
Yes,
that
it's
work?
an after-school program. We have locations all in Mobile and Baldwin County.
Okay, and so this was an important part of your life, getting involved with Boys and Girls Club. What did you do through Boys and Girls Club?
I've had the opportunity to do a lot of things, not only serving as the Youth of the Year, but I've been able to mentor the kids at my club, set an example for my peers at the club. I've been involved in community service activities. We do back-to-school drives, food drives, and really just being able to get involved in my club, especially being able to kind of be there and serve as that representative or like an ambassador for my own club through all the programs that we do and all the activities that we get involved in our community.
So did you grow up in it and now you're a leader?
Yes, ma'am. I've been at the club for 7 years now.
So is that cool for you to see as an adult? You're the director of it, but to see the kids grow and to give back.
It is excellent. I mean, it is kind of heartwarming to see them start as a shy young man or young ladies and come in and to see them to grow into a great young men. I mean, it makes you feel good to know that you're doing something that really helps to not only build their character, but hopefully make them better citizens also.
Because I read you used to be shy.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still shy? A little bit?
A little bit.
Well, you're doing a great job. And so how important do you think it is for you to be that role model for the younger kids?
I think it's very important, being able to use the platform that I've been given, just kind of setting an example and serving as that role model for a lot of the kids. I know that a lot of them look up to me and they see me as something that they might want to be one day. So I think that really putting myself in a position to where I can have that impact on the kids is probably the most important thing.
Fantastic. And so you graduated from Baker. How was Baker?
It was very instrumental, I would say, in my development and just kind of getting me to be where I am now.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Do you feel like it prepared you for college and career?
Definitely.
And so you did a lot of things at Baker. Tell us about your involvement there.
I was involved in a lot of clubs and organizations. I was a member of Keystone Club, not Keystone Club, the Key Club, the 30 ACT Club. I had a 31 on the ACT.
Awesome. Say that again. You made a 31.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome.
I did Multicultural Club. I was a member of NHS. I was just trying to stay involved in my school.
And the Kappa League?
Yes, ma'am.
How was that?
I was a member of Kappa League all through high school, from my freshman year all the way up to my senior year. I served as the secretary for 2 years, and Kappa League was also very instrumental in making sure I stayed focused and remained involved in my community.
That's another great organization that we have throughout the county. And so what are your plans now?
So in the fall, I will be attending Alabama A&M University, majoring in business, and hopefully starting my own business on campus or getting on the path to start a business in my future.
that's awesome. I can definitely see you running your own business one
ma'am.
day. That's going to be great. And so when you hear him talk, how proud are you?
Oh, very proud. I mean, it's not only the doings of himself, but his parents, you know, their hard work and making sure that he stays on top of not only his grades, but his, you know, his mental. I'm very happy to see Ryan do all the great things that he's definitely have accomplished. I mean, just being the Youth of the Year for twice is it's a real accomplishment, and to not only take the advantage of being the state Youth of the Year, you know, for our particular organization it's unbelievable, you know, and I'm just happy to see him grow and keep on learning.
That is great. And so if you're a student or a parent out there who's interested in the Boys and Girls Club, how can you learn more about it?
They can go on our website, bgc.southal.org, and they can learn about our clubs, our programs, and our staff also. So.
Okay. Ryan, do you recommend the Boys and Girls Club?
Oh, definitely, I do.
What do you like about it?
Just, it keeps kids engaged in the right spaces and keeps them kind of out of, you know, the wrong spaces and the wrong environments, and it gives them a good place to go to where they can foster their growth and develop their social skills and just a lot of things that they can do to become better people.
And then maybe one day they can be Youth of the Year and make a 31 on their ACT.
I would hope
right?
so.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for everything that you're doing. Good luck at A&M. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to break for commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to some of our students who have a documentary that's making the national news. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today I'm introducing you to some of our students who are doing extraordinary things outside the classroom. I have two nationally recognized documentarians with me today. It's not very many kids who can say that, right?
No, ma'am.
So we got Dwayne Lockett James, who just graduated from Murphy High School, and Ethan Gwynn, who's about to be a senior at Baker. So how did you guys get into the role of being documentarians?
Well, it all started at an ambassador training camp, and we were next to each other. We were next to each other sitting down after we came back from an activity, and we were talking. And he was talking about the first documentary, the first year I did it. He was like, "Oh, I seen you on the MCPS news." And he was like, "You know, that's really cool." We just talking, and the more that he was talking, the more that we were talking, I was really engaged with the way that he was talking, the way he carried himself, and the way that he would present himself, the way he was talking about. And so with that in mind, it was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is somebody I feel like I can take or have somebody as a partner and be like, let's do something with this. Let's do something with National History Day, you know, especially with what happened with it last year. I think that with me and him together can really make something pop. And so obviously lots of ideas were going, and then eventually he's, you know, really in tune with the Heritage House. Therefore, I was like, Zora Neale Hurston, Barry Coon, and Cudgel would be perfect.
Yeah, a great fit, because this is through the National History Day competition. It's something that our schools have had great success with. So you get together, do certain projects, and one of the projects can be a documentary. And you've won it twice,
yes, ma'am,
where you've had your documentaries presented at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So this time we'll talk about this video in particular because it's very interesting. It has a local connection because it's about Zora Neale Hurston and her interviews with Cudgel Lewis. So how fascinating was that to dive into that subject?
I feel like with it being a local topic, but also being able to transcend the impact of that local history and demonstrate the overall significance it has at a global level was truly impactful and you know, imperative for this project. It's something that's not widely known, it's not widely talked about, and especially with this being in like local history, not many students hear about this growing up in school.
Right.
Like you would think it would be something we learn in like our history curriculums, which it's not. So unless they hear it from, you know, just a teacher who knows about it, or by word of mouth from having connections through the Africatown community or anyone else in Mobile, they're really not going to hear about this. So the fact that we were able to, you know, develop this project and then have it recognized at a national level where it has that national recognition, which gives more attention to an issue like this, was really important to us.
That's right, because it's part of Mobile's history and people don't realize how important it is. It was the last slave ship that came to America, the Clotilda, and Cudjoe Lewis, he was the last survivor, wasn't he? And so to be around and to get to meet Zora Neale Hurston, who's a famous author in and of herself, but she did that book on him, Barracoon, but it didn't gain flight for a while, was it?
It was 2018 till it was published. So
yeah, it just released 2018.
It's been around for almost 100 years, and with the story not being widely as known, obviously, it's been teachers like my teachers, Miss Woodring, shout out Miss Woodring, has taught us about the Clotilda and talking about the story of Barracoon as well. So with this project, it really helped us be able to want to take that era of history and be able to express it more and give people the idea of like what it was like to live during that time, and also bring the ancestry history as well to those who don't know about the ancestry as well. So
we have a clip of your documentary, so let's watch the clip.
Zora Hurston speaking. In all the big work camps, sawmills and turpentine steel and road camps and whatnot, they have a man.
The Harlem Renaissance is widely known as the revival of African American arts, mostly for its cultural revolution in music, dance, art, fashion, and literature. With the movement and influence of the Harlem Renaissance, Zora Neale Hurston constructed a piece of literature that would become prevalent in the understanding of the last slaves in America.
Zora Hurston speaking.
So I think it's fascinating because, like you said, she wrote the book a long time ago and she videoed her interviews with Cudjoe, but it took 100 years for us to get to read it.
Yes, and and a lot of people know Zora Neale Hurston as an author rather than her anthropology work. It took a lot of anthropology work as well as in order to construct the Book of Barracoon. Her having to come down from to the north to the south, and being able to write the story from him firsthand, because it was two other people who tried to do it and wasn't able to successfully to do it to the amount that she was able to do it as well. And also, if you look at the documentary, there's also a field work of her documenting the community as well.
Yeah. And so what was it like showing your documentary in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian?
It was a very full circle moment. And, just being able to reach a broader audience was very amazing. I feel like one thing that stuck out to me the most about having this opportunity is the fact that not only were we able to tell the story of the past, but also we were able to carry it on. We had 3 interviews included in our documentary of actual Clotilda descendants, Tiffany Poe, Pat Frazier, and the president of the Clotilda Descendant Association himself, Jeremy Ellis. So being able to, include their experiences where they're talking about how this affects them, the fact that through a single piece of literary work was able to clarify their ancestry, which is, is something a lot of African American people lack as a result of the transatlantic slave trade, which it truly adds another dimension and layer to their identities as a part of who they are and who their community is.
So truly bringing history alive for our generation to watch. That's fantastic work. We're so proud of what you were able to do and that the whole country can see this. And if somebody wants to watch your documentary, it's available on the Smithsonian's website, and we're going to post it on YouTube, the MCPSS TV YouTube channel, if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we do that? Because we want people to watch this and learn about our history.
Yes.
Well, thank you for what you do. We're so very proud of you guys. That's all of the time that we have for this episode of Homeroom, but we'll catch you next time on Homeroom.